Territory we go this morning for market futures here right across the board. That's the NASDAQ right now to the downside, but we're trying to hold higher here so far this morning. 0.5% right now in negative territory. The SPY or S&P about the same. 590 gets rejected there on that last bounce to the upside. A lot of people talking about the deficit over the past couple of days. That has yields sharply higher this morning. 10-year back above 4.5 for the first time in a couple of weeks. Go out to the 30-year, even higher than that. 2-year, though, is kind of stable. So we'll see how things play out here this morning. Again, higher yields, typically not great for stocks. Individually this morning, lots of things moving around once again. Tesla bouncing around, lots of headlines after the close yesterday or in the afternoon yesterday with Elon making that appearance on CNBC. We'll touch on Tesla coming up here. There was also a lot of retailers moving around. We had Home Depot going back a couple of days ago or yesterday morning. We'll get more from the retail side of things coming up here this morning. But cybersecurity in focus as well. PanW downside to the tune of about 5% off their report. Just made a new low here. Ouch.
Yeah. It was a good report, but with these type of high valuation stocks, Brendo, you got to beat and you got to guide higher.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that. So selling off, lots to talk about today, guys. UNH in focus. Oh boy, big allegations. We'll talk about that, about a misappropriation of assets as well as mistreatment of some of the nursing home individuals. Tesla also, as you mentioned, robo-taxi in focus. Their Target reporting, kind of a bad report. They're down about 6%. Google with their I/O event going to be definitely in focus with Waymo announcing over 250,000 rides. And AMD and NVIDIA, Brendo, yet again in focus as Elon says he's going to be scaling to about 1 million GPUs. Oh, baby. That's a good look. And XPEV.
Yeah.
Wow. Almost
nice
6%.
Report. Yeah, really
booming.
Really nice report. Yeah, I was reading about that, the AI story this morning. It's 30,000 a piece. I mean, that's $30 billion he's going to drop on that. So yeah, Elon doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on XAI. Lots of things. Apologies for the noise, guys. Construction is underway. We're making it bigger. We're making it better. Just bear with us. It's going to be worth it in the end. Trust me. Happy Wednesday here, guys.
Yeah, happy Wednesday. I've already said, right now I think there's some flooring coming up. But whenever that wall comes down, I want some swings on the sledgehammer. That's all I'm saying. That's fun stuff. What do you mean get in line?
Get in line, Neil.
Randy just drops by, drops off the plums, and then quickly
he's going to go get his own
get
sledgehammer.
in line, he says. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I've never paid to go to one of those demolition rooms. We call it the rage room, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would pay to do one. No. But if a wall's coming down and a sledgehammer's around, and it's coming down anyways, why not have a few swings, get some exercise in there, and have some fun? So you'll hear that noise for a little bit. UNH can't seem to not have bad headlines, but they bought it up again. So
idiot said that.
Yeah, it's look at the end of the day, some of what you read in this Guardian report, which I know we're going to get into and Sharif's going to get into, is not. It's not very good. It's not very good, and it doesn't sound good. It makes you feel, I don't know, it's the kind of stuff that I remembered why I sold it before, and now that I'm back into it, win, lose, or draw, I don't want to consider a long-term hold. This is a trade stock for me, and then just long-term. Don't like what you hear about how they do their business, although some people would say that that's rampant in the industry. But yeah, a lot to get through. I mean, Google had their event. It was a sell the news event. The Elon interviews ended up being sell the event kind of stuff as well. So even though that wasn't an event, that was the net effect of it. It's almost like the market was, we had our rally, and now we're looking for excuses to kind of take some profit maybe.
Yeah, going to be another fun day. What will today bring? I see someone in the chat. What's up, Matt? Oh, yeah, I have no idea. Tesla here, 245 again. Are we going to try that 250 level one more time? But yeah, the market down, Tesla up. So looking at that level one more time, 350. Yesterday's hold on Tesla. I mean, me and Darren and I in the after show last night, when I was I did exactly what Brendan did there. I heard the GPU number. And I was like, aren't those things expensive, And I was like, 1 million of those? The cheapest one was 30,000. The most expensive, the R2D2 one, was 75,000 or something. And then I remember just saying wow, I hope Elon gets some sort of discount.
Families and friend discount?
Families and friend discount, but like a quantity discount, you know? Like if you buy, right, it's like buy 3, get 1 free. It's like, or buy 1, get 3 free. It's like our pizza deal there in Brampton.
I'm sure there'd be bulk deals of some kind.
You think he phones up Jensen and is like, look, I want $1 million. You just charge me for 950,000 of them and throw in 50,000 GPUs?
Don't you kind of feel that's how they work? Like the big boys? Like
I like the story for NVIDIA, but the problem for me is that's not recurring. Like there's only so many companies that can pay $30 billion. And that's fine. It's great for NVIDIA, but I just wonder that once XAI and all this stuff and Tesla and all these guys use up all of these GPUs, then what's next? And I think that's the problem. There's only so many avenues to go.
Yeah, and then you ask yourself, okay, well then what does the upgrade cycle end up being? Who knows now? It's good now, but it's like, what does it end up being in the future?
Well, that's what you spend $30 billion, and I just think like, when's the next tranche of that spending? And it's like, once you've built something right now, I don't know. You can have conversations. Like I was just fooling around with Grok. I haven't even been on an LLM in a while. Like we use it here just to do random things, but I forget what I was asking it. And it was like the different modes that you can have on Grok now. There's like, there's the sort of the 18+ mode, there's like the translator, there's the funny mode, there's the romantic mode, there's all of these things.
Specific kind of tasks.
It's just like, wow, a translator. Cool. Like nowadays, forget about learning a second language. I mean, it's great for the mind, but it's like you can just tell Grok something and then it will just speak it in Hungarian.
Well, in the Google event last night, they had had the real live translation. It's like, don't get me wrong, I fully support learning like a language. I'm terrible at them, and I think people like myself are just never going to bother. But like I want to keep my daughter in French immersion because I think it's good for teaching kids how to learn and all that kind of stuff. But wow, and what they're able to pull off now is truly amazing. But it's like at some point you also want to see let's see some monetization of this stuff. But that's more directly. Figure it out at like Alphabet, because at $250, like if you're only like the $250 a month for the higher end, great, but like how much adaptation do you really get out of that?
Charging $250 a month?
That's the I forget what they're calling their Supreme. What are they calling it, Adara? AI Ultra. That's what they're calling it. AI Ultra for Google came at $250, and I'm not like you can see the reaction of the stock after the event. Like people were kind of underwhelmed in the general sense. Yeah, people sell the news as normal though.
No common person is paying $250.
That's what I'm saying, and of course not.
You had that hot take that I said $5 a week in gas, and you were like, that means a lot to certain people. And this kind of a thing here, that seems to be unbelievable. I think if you're an enterprise,
if you're an enterprise, yeah, sure. But even
Brendan will probably pay for it, and
then we all get it.
Yeah, wow, yeah. So Brendan just telling us ChatGPT Pro. Yeah,
but if the leader is charging less than you,
it might be good value. I'm just saying, like, it seems like all of these things are so cool, but I think about it. Does it actually change my life? It makes it maybe funner, more easy. But I don't know. Like to ask ChatGPT where the local Starbucks is, or just open up Google Maps and type in Starbucks. Like I get there's a convenience thing. That.
The convenience for me is that whatever I'm using, like if I happen to be an X, then I don't need to go somewhere else to answer a question. If I'm in a WhatsApp conversation, this is the thing for me I found with AI. If I'm in a WhatsApp conversation and something comes up, I'm not leaving WhatsApp to go answer. I'm just asking Llama because I'm already there. So for myself, that's what AI's turned into. It's a complete convenience thing where everybody better have it because you want a person to stay with what they're doing and not leave to go answer that question somewhere else. That's why I think the ChatGPT browser, whatever it ends up being, they can suck people in. Now, this is the thing you're using all the time. Great. But that's why I still believe in like the super app, because I think like Meta and Amazon and Apple, they can just keep you in there and you don't leave, then who cares? Because ChatGPT is great, but I don't need to use ChatGPT if I'm right in the middle of something. I don't want to go somewhere else. I just want to stay where I am and get my question answered or figure out what I need to figure out and not have to go somewhere else. And that's where the big boys, I think, can still.
I feel like we're getting like a lot. It's creating like a lazy. Like it's great to have that information, but like now everything is so easy to get. I'm almost jealous of like the kids these days. They're gonna have everything. Oh, I have to read Shakespeare. Yeah, bullshit. I don't have to read anything. All right, Grok, here we go. You know, and it's like,
hey man, we had
Cole's notes. But then you had to go to Cole's. You had to go to the mall. You actually had to socialize with people. Do you remember socializing with people? How fun that was.
Yo,
you know, and it's like then you had to actually speak to somebody and pay them actual paper money, all of that. But yeah, we are old. That's all. We are old.
Good old paper.
But I mean, it's changing everything, and it's kind of just one of those things now, right? Like I used to like going to the library, for example. You know, I never really liked going to the library, but you look at encyclopedias, looking things up. Like now they don't look anything up.
Remember when you do a research paper in school, and you would spend so much time in the library just finding what you needed, and then you still had to do the work.
Right, and then you had to sign out the books and this and that.
You had to return.
It's like now you can ask these things anything. I mean, it's getting great and it's getting very efficient, and $250 a month apparently.
Yeah, $250
Encyclopedia, yeah. Google, I guess, took care of that business real quick.
Through that.
The search engine.
Oh, shout out to Chris Ellen here. Wall-E coming to fruition. That's a whole other level. Because, yeah, like when you all of a sudden everyone's just sitting in their recliner and we're just not moving at all. They made a sequel to Wall-E?
I don't know, maybe did they? I think that was like one of the last DVDs that we ever got.
I don't think did they make a sequel? If they made a sequel to Wall-E,
Wall-E 2? Wall-E 2?
I loved that movie. It was a good one. There's another one.
Yeah, kids can't write in cursive. I don't even think they do cursive anymore.
I don't think they teach that anymore.
No, I think it just got brought back.
Oh, really?
In Ontario. Yeah, cursive writing. Yeah, because my kids are doing that. Yes, so actually I don't think, I can confirm cursive writing is back. In the Ontario. Like, if all of a sudden a wall just comes down behind us randomly, please do not fear that. Like, Ramin's doing a lot of graphics, and those are fake. But if that really comes down.
Think of a hole comes that wall right over there.
Right. Like, if you see the Kool-Aid Man come jumping out of that wall, that is possible.
I'm asking for
that.
That
is very possible.
I love Kool-Aid.
Andre, when you're ready, run that Studio A promo one more time in case people are like wondering what in the hell are these guys even talking about right now. But yeah, we are going under a big renovation.
Major renovation.
Whenever you're ready, man, just run it over top of me. Don't even worry about me talking here because I don't know if do you have it, Andre? Oh, just a second. Okay.
Get it?
We'll get it. But yeah, we are renovating. We want to thank everybody for their patience and their support while we do this. It could be a little loud. This I haven't seen this one.
That's new.
I haven't seen this. That's Brendan and Sharif blowing up over there. So we'll see if that ever. Oh, here we go. 2, 1. Oh yeah. Oh, that was
Adair was on there.
Ramin is very violent with these. I noticed.
Yes.
It's everything is blowing up
or melting.
It's not whatever it is. It's not people working or anything like that. They are violent explosions happening. Like there's bombs being planted. We're all sitting. I saw a video the other day of this hotel coming down. I think it was in New Jersey. It was pretty awesome.
I might have seen the same one because we showed Erin one, the demolition.
Maybe it wasn't Jersey, but
and we're like, and she's like, "Wow, that's so cool." I'm like, and
3, 2, 1.
If you like, that's a type of engineer because she wants to be. My daughter wants to be an engineer, and I'm like, that's a type of engineer. So if you want to do cool stuff like that, then make sure you study hard, math, physics, all that good stuff, and then you get to do fun stuff like blow up buildings. For real, that's a real job. Someone gets paid good money. And she's like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You just get her, just like needle them in there. Then next thing you know, she's like, Daddy, I want to blow stuff up. And then
perfect.
That will have been my fault.
Perfect. Well, that's good, man. You got to do what she likes. This KC Mint here, this is one for Sharif. She says, or he says, we need Sharif to say, boom. You know how Sharif says that. There we go. Yeah, you got to get that deep, from your gut. Right there. And that's the blow up sound right there. But okay, well, that was a fun morning. Target missed today and their downside as well. Some of the retail names starting to go a little downside. I got an eyelash.
Target's getting moped.
Chinese EVs starting to go upside again with XPEV. That was XPEV, the symbol, of course. That's starting to go upside. NASDAQ trying to fall down a little bit. Yesterday was a little bit of a mixed day. Well, hopefully we can. I'm still on Tesla here, by the way. Here's XPEV right here. Just to look at it because we're talking about it. It was up 5%. I'm not sure what it's up now. 6%, okay? So, nicely gapping a little bit higher. And the thing about XPEV, which is really nice about the chart, is you're actually trying to break through right into here. You got to get above $22, but that's real nice, man. This stock didn't even come close to the 200 period moving average. There's so many names that we talk about. We're so focused on Mag 7 most of the time, especially in our own portfolios or on the news. They're always looking at the NASDAQ, but there are some undercover stocks here that continue to really do well. XPEV, even year to date, right? Like January, you're doing nice on this name, $12 to 2021. So XPEV holding fort here. All right, bro, where's the bear, says Hamster?
Right here.
Yo, bro, we got it right here. I mean, I don't know.
The ears don't look.
Oh, you want me to talk bearish?
There we go.
There. We'll be talking bearish soon. Don't worry about that. Oh, yeah, and then the Florida Panthers just absolutely annihilate 5-2 the Carolina Hurricanes.
No problem.
Like, it's just too bad the Maple Leafs ran into Florida, but you got to beat
really
everybody.
good.
You got to beat everybody to get there.
That's the thing. Like you beat a potential champion.
Oh, where's Bears?
To win any championship? It's just a matter of when you do it. If you had to do it in the first round, you do it in the first round. If you do it at the Cup final, you do it at the Cup final. So
right.
We would have had to take out a team like that to get there.
I see what the chat is saying. What's up, Hamster? Thank you for asking. Yeah, Bears versus Bulls is fine. He's taking a day off, so everything is fine. With that, we so behave in the chat. I'll just be banning everybody.
Be good.
Like that's the whole thing, right? Like the ban hammer is out in full force today. But shout out to Bears versus Bulls, doing well. Everything is fine. So don't. Thank you for asking about him. That's very important to us. But all right, Brendan, 8:46. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, we'll get Ramin to take care of the chat later on. So definitely everyone behave. She'll start blowing up people. This is what I was talking about early on this morning. This is the 30-year. So 502 right now on the 30-year. This is the highest point this thing has been at all year long. Just FYI, so that's not good for stocks. If you go over to the 10-year, same thing. Not at year highs yet, but we're back to this last pivot. 4.54 in the 10-year.
And they're saying a lot of Japanese bondholders, Brendo, are starting to sell their U.S. treasuries because the Bank of Japan increased the rate on some of the shorter-dated treasury yields there. And so they're funneling money back into their own countries, selling U.S. debt, U.S. treasuries, and funneling it into Japanese treasuries. So obviously that's going to push yields higher as it pushes bond prices lower. So we'll have to continue to watch that. And obviously the issue with the federal spending in the United States. The market really pricing in more deficits, even though with the $1.5 trillion apparently that this big beautiful bill is supposed to be cutting, but I know not really pleasing some of the Republicans on the SALT side. They want to see more cuts.
That is going to quote unquote explode the deficit. Apparently, according to President Trump. Speaking of, Jensen with some fighting words for Mr. Trump, saying that the chip ban or restrictions, a complete disaster, cost billions.
I didn't hear this during the Biden administration, though. It's very interesting that it's coming out now, especially with Donald Trump having loosened some of this, the chip restrictions with the removal of the AI anti-diffusion law. So I don't know exactly where this new push for deregulation is coming. I didn't hear about it in the previous administration. Yeah. Maybe he's taking
That's where it all started.
Yeah, well, maybe he's taking advantage of this pro-business push.
Yeah, NVIDIA downside here, 0.75% right now. Just having a look at Baidu as well. Coming back in a hurry there. We broke back through 92 after making that day high. But Baidu with earnings, another one, 2.5% to the upside here, along with XPeng. What am I trying to say? XPeng. XPEV. I'll be okay. Wow.
We get it. It's actually kind of cool because XPEV, it's an EV name. So I get why they want to do it that way. So what's interesting about XPeng is whatever is happening at 21 1/3, somebody's selling it. So until it gets to that price, like wake me up when it can actually break through here. Like maybe I guess 21.5 would be the big level above, but you can see the resistance here. Maybe even 22, I think it would need to chew through. It's a good looking, I don't know, like wedge into a flat top, but without a break of that flat top, I don't really see much with XPeng. There's a small gap from 21 to that resistance at the third, so you could maybe play something into there, but I'll probably stay away from this. It would need to gap through that resistance zone to be a little bit more exciting. Unfortunately, some of the earnings names are like more downside plays today, like Target, which I know we'll get into. But yeah, stay away. Well, I shouldn't say stay away, but needs to make that break on the daily chart. Then it gets spicy on XPeng.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about XPeng about 5 minutes ago. I really like that 120 or that 22 level. I think it needs to break that. And we talked about it being up 65% year to date. I mean, what a great stock. But again, Tesla's doubled in the last 52 weeks. All right, I really like this movement here on NVIDIA at the end of the day. And I was thinking that it could probably continue. We got actually good news after hours, which really started to spike the stock right there. And then, data stops 4:30, so we'll put it back down here and say, you know what? We don't have to be that bearish today on the market. I am bearish. I'm going to be trying to be short the NASDAQ. That's what's written on here. And I actually want to go see what I actually asked a lot of you guys on Twitter there, what you were thinking about trading today. I have to go have a quick look before I complete this note. But I was thinking 132 on NVIDIA just to try to go long something. This is 132 right down into here. So we've only spent there was the morning of the, whatever date this is, the 19th, was the only minute that we've been under there in the last week or so. So we'll wait to see what happens at 132. I mean, that's to me is a very, very easy looking chart to understand. If we break the top, fine. I just don't think that's going to happen today. So what I'd rather do is watch this NASDAQ melt a little bit here. And I don't mean melt, but just drip down a little bit. And then if we can get something around 132, you can always hold it against this 131 gap level right here. So that would be something, the top back on the 13th and then the bottom on the 19th. So 131 to 132 to me is a level. There we go. A little bit of a dip. We'll do all the things there. I think it's worth taking. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I like that NVIDIA level of 132. Surprised it's not up. I thought we'd come in today with at least it being up there. With Elon saying he already has 200,000 GPUs. He's looking to build that 1 million GPU facility in the United States. So AMD, why didn't my chart change to AMD? Okay, AMD. AMD. So that's funny. Actually, this is the first time I looked at AMD today. NVIDIA down 0.75%. NVIDIA, AMD up 0.5%. So maybe potentially I'm looking in the wrong area for the bread to be buttered. Oh yeah, and by the way, you've talked about this before. My take on the bagels and whatnot that are here, they're I feel like they're a little frostbitten. They're not the freshest bagels that we get here right now. Sometimes I see Joe crushing on those.
I don't eat them. I don't eat them.
I mean,
it's mostly the extra. I don't want the extra carbs anyways.
No, but they're just not the greatest. I mean, they're just not the greatest bagels.
If I'm gonna eat carbs, they're gonna be like really. It's gonna taste good.
Yeah,
I'm strict about that. Yeah.
Joe, put your mic on, man. Is your mic? What's on, brother?
It's on.
What's
We're live, man. What's my
okay, man?
The bagels?
Yeah, I always see you having a bagel.
You know what? It's hit or miss, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think sometimes they're good. Sharif is obviously scratching his head over there. The bagels. You gotta be he's not a bagel guy. I'm an everything bagel guy.
Me too. Yes.
I'm an everything bagel guy, right? So I mean, sometimes they're quality, sometimes they're a little bit on the rough side, but
they're a bit hard. They're a bit hard, like that Montreal style.
Man.
I don't know. Adara says microwave them. I've never done that before. I don't know if I'm going to go to that extent. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with the way
I would
they are.
toast a bagel, microwave. I don't know.
I mean, if I have to microwave a bagel to make it edible, I mean, it's fine. It's a good strategy.
Well, if you got to do what you got.
What do you like on a bagel? I mean, they have cream cheese here. I'm down with cream cheese.
I'm not a cream cheese person.
Oh no, okay.
My favorite bagel is like a cinnamon raisin.
So that's what we have here.
And peanut butter on it.
Oh, peanut butter. Yeah, I like peanut butter.
That's my go-to right there. And like loads of peanut butter on it. How I roll.
We got to keep Joe live here, Andre. I mean, we're doing it live. Oh, okay. Well, forget about you, Joe.
Yeah, apparently.
Joe's still talking about bagels there.
Things to talk about, anyways. But
there you go. What were you saying? You like you don't like jam on the bagel?
So I'm not a jam guy. So I'm not gonna jam a bagel, and nor am I the biggest fan of raisins or blueberries in a bagel. I'm just. Oh my days.
Who's doing that?
Anyway, listen, I'm just an everything bagel guy. I just keep it simple.
Man.
That's just my style.
He's a simple
buttered
guy
bagel.
like American Pie.
Hold on a second. Is everything bagel simple? I mean, that's a bagel with everything on it.
Well, no.
To me, it's almost opposite of simple. But I got you.
You know what I'm getting at here, though. You know, we just got every form of seed on there. That's why it's called an everything bagel.
I love everything bagel. I mean, I already hit it. Those are my favorite bagels. Okay, thanks, Joe. Thanks for the check-in. Breakfast with Joe. I mean, we're just making new segments every day over here. So, breakfast. It's not bad.
Yeah. Well, you should take the omelet that they have, and then
I know. Why are we asking a guy? You're right, Chef Joe. Why in the hell am I asking a guy who doesn't even have pie, never even had pie before?
His pastry preferences when he's never had pie.
I know. That's why I asked you.
That's all I asked.
So we have cheese omelets here today, and he puts them in the bagel, is what he's trying to say.
Okay, good. That's what I was sort of getting at. That makes sense.
You know. Are we doing an options minute with Joe or something, or why were you mic'd up? Oh, we are. No one's even told me that. Man.
Well, let's go to Joe then.
Are we? Are we, Andre? Andre doesn't even know about this, Joe. Joe trying to take over the morning show, it seems like, over here right now. Automatically has his mic up, assuming it's options day with Joe over there.
He's about to tell you where you should be buying Wolf.
It actually is, right? Yeah, okay. Well then, Joe, kill him with kindness, man.
We're going to get this one rolling. I mean, all this bagel talk has got me hungry, but there's other ways we can eat in this market here, guys. And that, yeah, you like that one. There's other ways that we can eat in this market, and that's going to be via options here, folks. Let's talk a little bit about Snowflake there. I mean, we're reporting this evening, and you can see that we're running into some key zones here. So we're going to talk about the expected move and how our straddle and strangle traders can look to take advantage of this, and how we can lock in profits as well too in the after hours with options. All right, so there is some capital requirements, but we'll touch on that here briefly. So we'll just go on over the technicals here, guys. With this expected move, it is going to punch us through these, some of these high levels here, these resistance zones. But first, we need to exceed that. All right. So let's focus on what the expected move here is on Snowflake. So we're looking at about a 9.6% move in either direction. That's going to put us at a high of around $200 and a low of 165. All right. So what can this tell us for our straddle and strangle traders? So one thing that I want to note is it's slightly complicated, right? So it's like, Joe, I now have constructed this straddle. I've exceeded this move in the after hours, but I can't really lock in any profits. Well, there's multiple ways that we can do that, all right? So say we purchase our straddle and we get that expected move beaten to the top side. Well, Joe, I can't close any of my contracts. I can't lock in these gains. Well, that's not true. There's an actual way where we can lock in our gains with a straddle, all right? So say we pass that expected move here early after the report, you get that big volatility spike in the underlying. So what you can actually do is, so now we're trading at 205. If you have the capital, so you're already using a leverage product, if you have that capital, what you can do is you can just sell shares, okay? So say you have one contract to the long side, one contract to the downside, and now that the underlying is trading at 205, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I've exceeded that expected move. My options contract is now profitable. So what you can do is you can actually sell shares against that position. And what does that do? That locks in that profit. How does that lock in that profit? It doesn't quite make sense, Joe. Well, here it is. So now that you've had your options contract exceed that move, it's now it has intrinsic and extrinsic value, all right? So it has time value and the underlying has appreciated in price, but now you sell shares against that position. So what happens if that contract continues to, or starts to sell off, what happens is your short shares will lock in those gains and the short shares will start to appreciate in price while your options contract starts to depreciate in price, if that makes sense, okay? So now you're short from the highest point in that value of the underlying, and now your options contract is slowly starting to decay, but when you sell shares against a winning position, the appreciation in the short shares are going to cover what you have now lost in the underlying asset, or sorry, in that underlying contract, all right? So you can see here, guys, if we were to buy the at the money, that's going to be $11 on the call side and approximately $18 on the put side. All right, so that's going to cost you $19 per contract combination. All right, so at $1,900 in real money terms. So when you've exceeded that, you now have more capital because you're using this leverage product. But now if you beat it on both ends, or sorry, on the call side or on the put side, what you can do, we'll use an example on the put side now, is that you can just buy shares. So we go from 180 to 165. We've exceeded that expected move. You want to lock in those gains. What you do is you now purchase shares of Snowflake at those levels, and it also locks in those profits as well too. So when we say there's no way to close or exercise contracts, you can't exercise, but there's no way to close or lock in gains in the after hours, that's not necessarily true. You just need the capital requirements and have the ability to sell and buy in the amount of contracts that you have there, guys. So that's one key lesson and one key aspect, and a rumor that we hear a lot is that you can't close these contracts in the after hours. That's not necessarily true. There's other ways you can lock in those gains, and that's going to be buying and selling shares when those contracts and that system has exceeded the expected move there, guys.
Great stuff from Joe. Always want to have your options available to you, regardless of what play you might make there. There was a question in the chat. Jose Coronado was asking if you short a stock and it goes to zero, maximum gains is what you get, because you don't have to buy it back.
Yeah, you don't go back. The guy's like, he still loses. You don't lose.
No, you don't lose. It's like a maximum win. I think the thing look, so the context of this, let's not bury the lead here. I'm still on AMD, but the context of this is Wolf is apparently going to Chapter 11. So can it go down further? Sure, it could go further. Could it bounce from here? We've seen it before on trades. But if you happen to be short and it goes dead, then you have maximum win. I can't recall a scenario where that happened. Usually, you'll see like it get delisted, go to the OTC. People can still cover there. It'll trade for a little bit and until it goes under. But at the same time, you never want to make assumptions on how it's going to trade today. Like, I'm not sitting here telling you everyone go out there and buy Wolf, because I don't actually think you should. But oftentimes, you're down 62% in a situation like this. We've seen like these little relief rallies. They can be really good fades if they go too far. And a lot of times, like, I pay for locates in case that does happen. But it's holding on to like a dollar level. Like, there might be an SSR bounce playing here. Like, there might be a spot at $1, maybe, who knows, where you could risk 1 or 2 cents to make 20. Like, I've seen that before on one of these types of things. I just think it's a trade. And I want to see it do like meaner versions of what I'm going to look for on this stock for sure today for Wolf. But anybody that's short this, you're not losing. Like, if you were short this at any point previously, it's very difficult for you to lose, because is it going to go back to $3? No. So even if you had it from yesterday, whether or not they end up on the OTC next week or gone next week or tomorrow, that's anybody's guess. But you're not going to lose if it goes to zero and you're short.
Thanks, Joe, for, again, that's just more. If you're just joining us for the first time, talking about, we'll be trading futures, we'll be trading small cap names, we'll be trading large cap names, we'll be doing it all on the midday show. More talk about options, more talk about some of the runners. We have guests on from OTC Market to talk about some of the actions that happen when a stock gets delisted back down in there. So, great guests all the time on the show. We had Mitch yesterday from Trade the Pool. We continue to have Raider Trader, we have Brian Shannon, many great. Michael Noss, of course, is here the most. Raheem, like, it's a great area and space to learn safely. Like, you can ask us any questions. Our chat is absolutely on fire. A lot of smart traders in there. They understand the content and sort of how we roll around here. So if you're just joining us for the first time, thank you so much. Make sure you do like and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, then you can get here into the trade and into our chat. And what's up, None? Thank you so much. Yesterday, see, here's another example. I haven't traded UNH my whole life pretty much. Yesterday, your trade on UNH was fantastic. Is it on my trade to watch today? Yes, it is. It's number one again. And this time yesterday, it was a long 315. We wound up taking $9 on the top side of that UNH trade, long 315, out 324s, closing the day around 322.50. Today, we're going to go short UNH, and it's on the watch list on the sticky note. So go find it at Trader TV Sean. Sign up for our watch list right there, right now. And let's go over to Sharif, and I believe it's futures time.
It is.
960, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES June contract. Trading below that right now. We're trading around 59.21. We're awfully close to that 5,900 point area. So what we're going to do, we're going to use 5,900 as our support level. We'll look to the overnight high, guys, 59.60 as resistance. Let's see if we can break that and get up to 6,000.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second, jump down to the description in this video. Top link will get you to the sign-up page for the watch list. It's absolutely free, comes right to your inbox every single morning, has everything that is moving around in the pre-market and why, also any economic announcements for the day, things you need to know in the pre-market daily. Let's talk about Tesla here to kick things off. Spicy interview, to say the least, yesterday afternoon, and then we got a second round after the close yesterday on CNBC from Elon. He full out just said, you know, it's coming in the cyber cabs are coming in June in Austin, and there's going to be hundreds of thousands of them.
Yeah, no surprise to us. Remember, we reported on that there were all over X videos of these Model Ys driving around Austin, so not a shock there. So here's the deal. Elon Musk, as Brendo mentioned, confirmed Tesla will debut its robo-taxi fleet in Austin, Texas by the end of June. They're going to start with 10 vehicles, Brendo. Then they're going to expand to thousands if the trial goes smoothly. The fleet will consist of the Model Y vehicles running the new FSD called FSD unsupervised. Tesla will geofence initially the robotaxi operations to designated areas in Austin. Unlike rivals, no human safety driver will be present. Monitoring will occur remotely. That's an interesting take there. Unlike Waymo, which operates paid rides with LiDAR-equipped cars in multiple U.S. cities, Tesla relies solely, guys, on the camera-based systems and their neural nets. Musk claimed Tesla's generalized AI approach is more scalable and cost-efficient than the sensor-heavy alternatives. And Tesla's employees, as I mentioned, will supervise robotaxis remotely, increasing the autonomy of the cars as they build confidence in them. Critics, though, remain skeptical as Tesla is yet to deliver a fully autonomous vehicle despite promises dating back to 2016.
I have an analyst who is not skeptical. Guess who it is?
Danny Ives.
Of course. So calling this a watershed moment, maintaining a bullish stance on Tesla because, of course, he is.
Of course. Obviously, Danny Ives knows he's very on brand, right? There's never a bearish sentiment with Dan Ives, which is fair. But Tesla worked out yesterday for a lot of reasons. Like the initial break up, like it's a 350 break. It was much better last time, better yesterday. My head's in the way there. But like it was a good breakout. It was a good dip buy back into, it was about 348. And then everything, all what went loose. But it ended up catching a bit off the prior day high. And then we had this trend up, which I didn't revert it when it did it, but we were long and long and then long, like 3 separate times. You were able to buy the dip. Eventually it gave up that move. What I don't like about it today is how many times are you going to fail this 350 before it just turns into a short if we get up there again? I just feel as if, okay, you've had a couple of good runs. That was a pretty solid break day and a good turnaround as well. I think getting up there looks like a fade today for me. So if we get that press, I'll be like, I'm not taking a 350 break for the third time. I'm actually looking for a fade in that range, like somewhere where you break out and then do a trend reversal. Because looking back on it, it was great going long several times on that trend line, but the break of that trend line was actually a better trade than all of that because it just had worked so fast. So yeah, there was a lot of selling coming in under that 350, it seems.
Oh man, no, I'm organizing like team photo day for our girls rep team right here. All right, so TSLA right here because all of a sudden like the league messaged us last night that they wanted this Saturday at 9:30 in the morning, which is fine for many people, but not fine for many others.
Most people are busy.
Saturday morning is tough, especially if you're booking it within 4 or 5 days. We have practice on Friday and on Sunday. So it's kind of like we could do it out of practice. But okay, yeah. So look, yesterday Tesla was just like wild, man. We had that 350 break, then we had this long. Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna say we didn't catch this short for sure, but we tried the long again and tried it again and wound up losing. And I think we left it alone only to go back and talk about it in the after show and just as we were sitting here recapping the 3 p.m. trade or so. That this 242, 241 was a great level that held, right? And so I think you're looking there again. It's not on my sticky note today. I have UNH on here. I've got the Qs, NVIDIA. I have IBIT with crypto on the list as well. You can go find that at Trader TV, Sean. But yeah, for me, for Tesla today, I think it's going to be stay away a little bit. I mean, it's up against the market, so that sends me a little bit weary about what Tesla's doing. Today, we are going to have, obviously, the imbalances come through as well. But this just looks so choppy to me. We broke 350 a couple times, and each time we didn't hold it. So we broke it right there. We had it there. We had it there. We had it here. So we had it every single time. And I'll probably have it again if it goes. But you know, we have to be very, very careful. That 352 to 354 has been the top for Tesla. So that's something to worry about for me. If anything, I'm thinking lower, but not today. I mean, it looks higher. I like I like the robo-taxi angle. I like the angle that we talked about this with Mitch yesterday. Their cars, you know, although profitable and still doing well and still selling well, that's not going to be their future, according to Elon. They want to work on the robo-taxis, then they want to work on Optimus, they want to get robotics. They really focus on the FSD and the technology behind that, potentially, you know, selling that angle as well. We saw a deal with Rivian and Volkswagen. Tesla still has a lot of opportunities here, and we heard that also Elon's buying all those GPUs. So let's figure out what's going on there. But, you know, the ultimate low isn't around here, between 334 to 335-ish in this area. If we get a dip buy opportunity down there, that would be great. But today it's strong. So I would just say you want to look for longs. And for me, that's 341. So if that holds from yesterday's lows right into here, that'd be great. 341, 342, it's 2 days ago close. So if you like the long, I think you just wait for it. Market's heading a little bit southbound. Look what Tesla does off the morning. You know, huge moves, right, all the time. There's another move up and then straight down and then up again. So, I mean, the morning's been violent for many names, including Palantir and all of that. So, yeah, Google off of a big day yesterday. We talked a little bit about that in the pre here. So let's go over and find the real story about Google and what the trade plan is.
All right, Google I/O yesterday, a ton. It would take the rest of our time here until 9:30 to go through absolutely everything that was discussed and launched. Just a few highlights for you. The glasses look amazing. It was kind of funny though. It was a live presentation, so they were trying to have a conversation, two people having a conversation in two different languages, both translating in real time to English, and it kind of failed.
Okay.
Like it blew up in their face, but it was still, it was a good attempt. And they even said it was a tough ask in that environment. But I mean, so many things. You can feed it a picture of yourself and then jump on any store you want to go shopping for clothes. And it will, with their AI, just show what you will look like with that shirt or pants or whatever that you're looking to buy. It's crazy what's
And these are the practical use cases that we can use AI for on a day-to-day basis. I'd love to see Apple get on that bandwagon, Brendo, because clearly Google's doing the right thing. I'm going to take the Google AI Ultra, that $250 premium subscription, $249.99 to be exact. That's offering exclusive access to Google's latest AI tools and experimental features. It's targeting early adopters and power users looking for trailblazing AI capabilities beyond, you know, the standard offerings that they have. Here are some key features. You're going to get Gemini 2.5 with the deep think mode for that reasoning task. Excuse me. You also get 30 terabytes of storage, and you also get early access to their Project Mariner, which is a multitasking AI agent. Yet another look at agentic AI. Veo 3, which is their video generation. You were saying good stuff about that, Brendo. Notebook LLM. I'll get to that on the midday show. You get Flow, which is an AI assistant in filmmaking, and YouTube Premium. A lot of people love that, myself included. The strategic implications here are they're aiming to monetize Google's R&D heavy AI division, and they're looking to diversify their revenue beyond just ad growth, which is slowing as a result of less searches. It's also a direct response to the growing threat from OpenAI, Anthropic, and other emerging AI search tools.
Yeah, and one of the cool things that I thought the way they did it was really interesting with search itself. In the US, you have this, I think, already, but not here in Canada yet. If you just go to google.com, there'll be an option to use the AI search tool instead of the traditional search tool. So they're leaving it up to how you want to actually interact with search going forward, because that gives them the option to then track traffic and who's using what, and then just gradually move towards it.
And we just talked about declining revenue in search, Brandon, but we've also talked about the fact that there's no ads whatsoever in any of these LLMs. And the targeting you're going to be able to get for ads, because you just know so much about the person and so much about what they're asking, it's going to be better targeted ads. You just have to assume that.
Yeah, I mean, if you have I think it was like 3.5 hours total, but worth having a look over the weekend for that I/O presentation yesterday.
Or you can have it summarized by AI. That's the other thing you can do. If you don't,
that's what I'm saying. Going back to the lazy
I
thing.
think 3.5 hours of
Dude, I couldn't even watch 20 minutes of it, but
look, at the end of the day, I did watch some of it. I watched them. I think I watched more than 20 minutes. Well, it's easy to put something up while we're sitting at the desk. So in the afternoon or at lunchtime, we did, and tried to listen to as much as possible. That said, the price action's king, and you're still check the top of the channel. It went right into the top of the channel. Let's go daily chart first. Should always do that. Went right into the top of the channel. Resistance is just underneath 170 on Google. That got respected. It dropped like an absolute rock. I mean, everything did, but so did Alphabet. And then you had a lower high in here at 166. So I think continuation means 166 would be the first look, and then the second look would be up here. I think you'd start looking for the short as you get into 168, thinking that you can't get to 170. So I got two levels I'm looking to fade on Alphabet. They sold the news. Look for maybe a day continuation here and let it settle down. The range has been respected pretty much the entirety of the last trading week.
yeah, I mean, I think Google's a short again today. I mean, you're kind of. It's nice that we're up today. It looks like we're up. But, I mean, this big, huge fall down, we're just trying to make a little bit of that back, which we did. We got up to 166 and then failed that. And then as they started at 1 o'clock and, it just kind of faded. I'm not even sure really why they're up right now. I punched this 163 short yesterday. That's like how negative, and then I lost, everything when it went back to the upside there into 164. But we had said that yesterday that, if this 165.50, my mistake, right there, that would be a level to look at for the short. But hard to stand in the way. Like, this is what happened, I guess, when they announced the pricing, or I'm not even sure what happened, what that move was there, but there it is right there, because that seems early in the presentation. That was 1:30. The presentation started at 1. But right there, 165.70 or so, to me, is an area